Hello everyone, welcome to another video from my channel. It is a tutorial about operations on functions. I will be discussing with you how to find the sum, difference, product and quotient of functions, how to find the composition of functions. So before we go to the first point, previously you were performing addition, subtraction, multiplication and division in the polynomials. Now we will be having two functions and you need to follow what is required from you. So first of all, he's giving you f of x and g of x. What is the operation between them? It is addition. So let's imagine that I'm required to find f of x plus g of x. So this what they meant by f plus g all x. So let's now put it together. So what is f of x? It is this one. After this, what is g of x? You will be adding it to the other polynomial. Now you will be watching what is the like terms here. So x squared plus 8x and let's see the other like terms minus 4. That's it. Now let's go to the other question. Now he wants from me to find f minus g. So pay attention now what you should do. So let's write f of x minus g of x. And let's pay attention what is the difference between the addition and the subtraction here. So let's write it as it is, plus 5x minus 2. Now when you put the subtraction, don't forget the brackets. 3x minus 2. So it will be x squared plus 5x minus 2, distributive property, and then you will be cancelling the things which is like minus 2 plus 2, cancel, and here you have like terms. So x squared plus 2x. That's it. We did the addition, subtraction. Now let's see multiplication and division. How can we do them? So first of all, it is all about f of x multiplied by g of x. So we will put it as it is, x squared minus 7x plus 2, x plus 4. And now, as we did it previously, when we want to multiply the polynomials, I will do distributive property for each term. X cubed minus 7x squared plus 2x. Then to the other number, plus 4x squared minus 28x plus 8. So with this, I will be getting these terms and I have now to simplify them and see where are the like terms. So let's underline them. choose another color, and now let's simplify it. X cubed, and here you have like terms, minus 7 plus 4, it will be minus 3 x squared. Then you have 2 minus 28, it will be giving you minus 26x, and you are left with 8 as it is. And there is no limitation in this question. Now let's go to the division and pay attention to the division. So it's all about f of x over g of x. You will be needing to put them over each other. X squared minus 7x plus 2 over x plus 4. So there is one limitation only. Look at the denominator and ask yourself, if I would like to find the limitation, that means I should put the denominator equal to 0. So your x will be minus 4. So your denominator should not be equal to minus 4, because this will make for you undefined polynomial, or it will give you 0 in the denominator, and in this case you will not have it in the domain. Later you will be understanding what do I mean when I have 0 in the denominator. What if I would like you to solve this question, and do not stop here. What we will be doing, you can solve it whether using the long division or synthetic division. Just remember that you cannot use the common denominator. Why? And if you ask yourself why, you have binomial in the denominator, that means you cannot use the common denominator. So if we use the synthetic division, your terms will be as the following. You will be putting your minus 4 here, and the other coefficient 1, minus 7, and 2. And if you need to revise the synthetic division, there is another video about synthetic division. So you will be putting 1 as it is, minus 4, then add them together, minus 11, multiply them, you will be getting 44, add them, you will be getting 46. And if you would like to write it again, it will be f over g of x equal to x minus 11 x plus 4 plus the remainder. And this is the remainder theorem, which I have explained it before in one of the videos of the recorded lesson. You can go back and remind yourself by it. That's it. Now, what if I'm requiring you to find point 2, which is the composition of functions? Now you are having two functions and you should put them inside each other. What do I mean by inside each other? So first of all, you were taking that x, it is the value of the domain for the function g of x, which is y, your y values, your range. And now in a new function, you took these y values, you put them as x value for the new function. So if you would like to write it, f, and inside it another function g of x, so this is in general will be your y values of g. So now let's read these two sentences which are very important. The composition may not exist, but how can I know if they are existing for me or not? So if OG, which is the composition, will be defined only if the range, which is these values of y, is a subset of the domain of F. And GOF means it is the composition between G and F. It is only defined if the range of f of x is a subset for the domain. So let's now pay attention to these words. So here it was clear for you, but let me explain this one. G, O, F and X. So that means you are having G and inside it you will put f of x. So let me explain this further. So you will be having x values as the domain of f of x. Then you substitute it, then you will be finding the range of f of x. So this will be the range of f of x. Then you took the same values as x values, but for whom? For G. So you put them as G f of x. So these are not only the range of f of x, it is also the domain of G f of x. So it's like the link. So in the middle it will be linking between each other. So this is the explanation for the first, and this is the explanation for the second. So now let's see how can I apply them regarding when we have a relation, and how can I apply them when I have functions. Let's pay attention. So first of all, I would like to find if OG, if we are given f of x and g of x. So now let's translate this one in another way. So it is f and inside it g of x. So if I'm having here values, so let's take first of all the values that I'm given for the g. So let me highlight g of x. So I'm considering the x's of g. So it's like take it from the inside until you go to the outside. So the inside it is g of x. So just pay attention on this. 4, 2, 9 and 3. So it's like you are taking first whatever inside until you go outside, step by step. So first of all, let me put it as it is. F G, what was the first x here? It was 4. Now, as I have told you, first of all, take whatever inside, then start taking the outside step by step. So I will put my green arrow here, and I will only concentrate on this one. Now, what is g of 4? Go here. I will highlight it with green, and it is 3. So you will write it as it is f of 3. Now I'm done of the blue arrow, green arrow. Now let's go to another orange arrow, which is f of all of these. Now let's go to the f and see what is the value that will be giving you a 3 here. So go to the 3 and I want f of this 3. So you will be having -2. Great. Now let's go to the another one. F of g of what was the other x? 2. Now let's solve it with the arrows. First of all, you have to pay attention to your blue arrow. Look at the 2. You put it as it is. Now let's go to the green arrow. What is g of 2? What is the value here? It is -1. Excellent. So let me put it as it is. Then let's go to the last arrow, which is the orange one. Ask yourself, what is f of -1? Go to -1. What is the f of -1? It is -5. Just put it as it is. -5. Then let's go to the other one. F of g of what was the other x? Now look at the blue arrow. You started from the x, then you went to the g, then to the f. So go to this x. It is 9. Then we will go to the green arrow. F. Now ask yourself, what is the g of 9? It is 4. Then go to the f of 4. Ask yourself, it is 7, and write it here. Now I think it's clear, so let's do it in a hurry. So it is f g, what is the last one? 3. Then what is g of 3? It is 10. What is f of 10? It is 8. Now he was asking me here in the question, state the domain and the range of each composed function. So first of all, you must write the final answer of f o g, then you should write your domain and range. So now pay attention how you can write it. You will open braces, then you have to put whatever you have here from the beginning as x with the answer. So 4 and -2, comma 2 and -5, comma 9 and 7, then 3 and 8. Great. So if I would like to take the domain, it is all the x values. So let's put them in order from the smallest until the biggest. 2, 3, 4, and 9. And the domain, you have to focus on the x values. Now let's look at the range. So it's all about -5 from the smallest, -2, 7, then 8. And that's it. So that was the first part of our question. What is the second part? He would like me to find GOF. So This is the same question, but you need to find GOF. So what do I mean by GOF of X? That means you must put G and inside it f of X. So if you would like to use the method of the arrow, that means you have to go to the X first, then f of X, then G of X. Okay, from inside until you go to outside. So let's put now f. Now what is the first one from this side? It is 3. Now let's go and find what is f of a 3. It is -2. Now concentrate in this point. Do you have in the domain of g of x any value of -2? No. That means here you do not have, and it does not exist. So it is not in the domain of g of x. So what you must write, g of does not exist, or it is undefined, or does not exist. And he was requiring you to find the domain and the range, so both of them phi. Great. So that's if you are having a value which is not in the domain. Now let's go when we are having pair of functions. How can you do it? So let's focus now on the composition of the first part. F O G of X. So it is the same as F, and inside it you will be putting X. So let's think further of this. So it is all about you are putting your g of x as an x for the f of x, all of it. So let's now think of this one. So that means you will be having your f of x here. Your x will be changing, and you have to put f of g of x. So let us substitute now. So you will be focusing on this. Instead you are putting only x, you must put this expression. So let's now focus on this. X minus 6. Oh, don't forget the square. And now put plus 2 as it is. Let's now simplify it further. So it will be the square of a difference. That means you must square the first, then minus 2 multiplied by 6 multiplied by x, plus the last one squared plus 2. So let's now simplify this one, g of x, because your x is now g of x as x squared minus 12x, and 36 plus 2 will be 38. So if you are having to find the domain and the range I'm advising you whether you can draw it or you can expect it by finding the vertex. You can use x is equal minus b over 2a, then substitute to find y, then you can find the vertex. Other than this, you can use Desmos directly to graph. So if I put it ready for you, so this is the graph of the function. So your vertex, it is 6 and 2. So if you would like to think of it, you are having an arrows going to the right and to the left. That means your domain is all reals R, and your range, always look where the graph started and where did it end. So the graph started from this value of y equal to, then it went up, that means infinity. So if you would like, you can write it in two ways. Whether you write it in the points as 2 infinity, or you can write it with the set builder notation, which is values of y such that your y must be bigger than or equal to. That's it. So that was the part of the question when you want to find FOG. Now let's see if I would like to find GOF. GOF of X. That means I will put G, and inside it I will remove each X, and I will put instead of it my f of X. So your new X must be f of X. All of these. Now let's put our G of X, the old one, and now you have to make changes to take off each X and put f of X. Now let's think of it. If I would like to take off each X, that means instead of the X I will be putting my f of X, which is x squared plus 2. And now what is the remaining? You have minus 6. So let's put it as it is now, and let's simplify it. So G f of X as x squared, and you have here like terms, so it is minus 4. So if you are required to find the domain and the range, you can study this function and compare it to the parent function of y equal x squared, or you can just graph it as I did here for you, and you can study the parent function regarding to the new transformed function, and your vertex will be 0 and minus 4. So if you would like to notice what happened to the values of x, it went to the right and to the left, that means all reals. And let's see the range. You have to study where the graph started and where the graph is ended. That means it started from y equal minus 4 and it went up. So as I told you, you can write it in many ways. Your first way is that you can put minus 4 and infinity, or you can just put y such that y is bigger than or equal minus 4, and that's it. So after this informative explanation, I would like you to practice more, and if you have any question, you can write it in the comment. If you got the answers, you can also discuss it with me in the comments, and I will be very happy to help all of you. Thank you so much.